Hello and welcome to today's video. Every single Monday the content is chosen by you, the viewers. If there's a song or an album you would like me to review, then be sure to let me know in the comments section of this video, and one will be chosen every single week. And this week we'll be doing an audio analysis of the track Alkaline by the British rock collective Sleep Token. The band certainly have continued their meteoric rise with their most recent album Take Me Back to Eden, which was the end of their trilogy, or we believe so, with the way it concluded and had this epic ending to the finale to the trilogy that they have been building over the years. This song was actually taken from their second studio album, This Place Will Become Your Tomb. It was track number 7, and it's a song that is very simplistic in its nature but has so much flair to it, and there's so much lying underneath, something that the band have really incorporated into a lot of their music, and they would copy this style almost onto some of the other tracks that did feature on that third album, most notably Aqua Regia. There are certain similarities between that track and this one, and it really has some core strong elements that really show some very powerful and thoughtful songwriting that really helps the track to stand out as one of the more iconic releases from the album. So will this track burn like acid or be off the pH scale? Let's take a look at exactly how it sounds.
Every once in a while something changes, and she's changing me. It's too late for me now, I am altered. There is something beneath. She's not acid nor alkaline, caught between black and white, not quite either day or night. She's perfectly misaligned. I'm caught up in her design and how it connects to mine. I see in a different light the objects of my desire.
So with the chorus and the first verse, it may not seem like there's all too much going on the surface, but there's actually a lot buried underneath. This is a song that really focuses on the idea of chemical reactions, something we did see with Aqua Regia and a variety of other tracks. This idea of every once in a while something changes and she's changing me. So this chemical balance that's being changed within Vessel, and he's often talked quite ambiguously about the fact that this song could be about a relationship with a person, but also with sleep, with his deity. So you always have these two sides that are really being shown and really leaving it open to interpretation to allow their story to come across in one side, but also for this general application to be on the other. It's too late for me now, I am altered, there is something beneath. So this chemical imbalance has created almost this darkness, this monster, which we'll see a little bit later on in the video. So just off these opening 4 lines, we do get a lot more going on, and it really gives a reflection of what else is going to happen in the track. And as we do move into the chorus, she's not acid nor alkaline. She's perfectly balanced, almost stuck in this middle of this pH scale at a 7, where she's not really kind of playing to either of these sides, caught between black and white, this grey area, not quite either day. So these constant comparatives of not being purely on one end of the spectrum, and this could be the idea of not seeing them as good or bad because you're so infatuated with somebody, you're willing to look past their flaws and things like that, hence the acid or the alkaline, or these good things that they've got going for them. So you kind of just see them as this blank page almost. You're willing to look past everything because of this chemical imbalance. And I love the oxymoron that we do have as the 4th line in the chorus. She's perfectly misaligned, because it is an oxymoron which tends to be two words that shouldn't technically fit together. How can something that's misaligned be perfect? But it's the idea of she's not stuck to one side, not this black or white. She's perfectly misaligned because she's stuck in the middle. So it's this view that Vessel has of this person. I'm caught up in her design and how it connects to mine. So you can see this draw that he's got towards this person quite heavily. I see in a different light the objects of my desire. So it really sums up that chorus very strongly, the fact that he sees in a different light. He's looking at this person in a very different way, and again not seeing those flaws and was just seeing it as someone that he's been encapsulated by, something that he very much desires.
Let's talk about chemistry, 'cause I'm dying to melt through to the heart of the molecules, till the particles part like holy water. If anything, she's an undiscovered element, either born in hell or heaven sent. Either way, I'm into it.
So as we move through the second verse and the dual chorus, we start to see this chemistry coming in. Oh, let's talk about chemistry, because I'm dying to melt through. Almost like this person has this outer core that needs to be dissolved through. Again, touching on things like aqua regia, which can melt gold. So you can really see the links in chemistry between those albums and how they've made the application between them to the heart of her molecules. So he's willing to kind of burn through to get to her heart, to those molecules, to set off that chemical reaction, this bond between the two. So I love how every lyric really focuses on this chemical reaction, and that's often what it's seen as, the release of kind of chemicals within your brain that make you desire somebody. So it's really great how they touch on this love almost, or this lust, through this chemical reaction till the particles part like holy water. And I love this because this idea of dissolving particles as they separate, as they change form from solid to liquid to gas, but also maintaining that holy element that we do often see in a lot of their music that allows that religious time to come through. Part like holy water, like the parting of the Red Sea. So really just kind of creating this gap, this crevasse, this canyon that he can move through to get to her heart. And I love also the line, she's an undiscovered element. It's almost like this thing that he can't understand but he wants to capture. It's almost like this new discovery as he's approaching this person. He sees this person in a very different light. So everything linking back together. She's either born in hell or heaven sent. So again, these comparatives, these two ends, either way I'm into it. So he's got this draw so heavy because of the simple fact that he's really just connected with her and has this chemical balance in his brain that really is drawing him towards either sleep or towards this woman of his desire. And I love on the musical side how we do get some of these quick dotted sounds, really like these chemicals, these things firing in your brain, these neurons almost of just this trigger, this reaction happening. And then we do get the kind of crescendic build as we move through the track into the second chorus, with the drums really coming in thick and heavy, really adding a bit more power to the end of the track after that softer open. Something the band love to do is just wrap their music around Vessel and his ability to really bring across the message that he wants to convey, and they do it so beautifully and letting him be effectively the carrier of their message, but they just aim to support him with the rest of the band. And despite it not being a heavy track with tons of lyrics, you can really see how they continue to build with this album, really kind of continue to push their ideals and their message forward through the story that they built. And this song certainly helped to do that, really showing the rising darkness that can occur within somebody when they have this idea of lust or this kind of chemical imbalance that really forces them to be immersed by somebody to the point where they're willing to do anything to achieve that what they desire. And you can really see how it was incorporated through the music video, this kind of creature that crawls out of the box, is almost the darkness and the lust within inside vessel that is willing to do anything to reach this person. Talking about the ideas of control from the deity that really kind of give him that message to kind of chase after something, to kind of follow this darkness that we would see continue to be developed with the third and final album, as we saw things like Ascensionism and a variety of others. But I love the balance that we do see across the albums, certainly linking to tracks like Aqua Regia, touching on this dissolvement, the idea of chemicals, molecules, making great use of these reactions to really show a different side of love, rather than touching on the typical love story of hearts and things like that, really doing it as a chemical balance and really showing the band's ability to have this deeper meaning to a lot of their music. And this was a song that really helped us show that from This Place Will Become Your Tomb, and certainly was one of the songs that really aided their meteoric rise on that second album, and certainly kind of propelled them upwards, which would help to be further pushed forward with the release of their third album earlier on this year. But certainly a very powerful track, despite having so much simpler elements on the surface, but certainly having a lot of detail packed underneath. So that will be everything for today's video, but as always, feel free to let me know your thoughts about this track in the comment section below. If you think there's any other hidden meanings that I have missed, or just let me know your thoughts, whether you thought this was one of the stronger tracks from the album that really aided in their meteoric rise. I would love to know your thoughts. Also, don't forget, if you would like to see a particular reaction or review of a certain track or album, then do feel free to let me know in the comments section, as well, as one is chosen every single Monday. And if you would like to see more Sleep Token content, I have covered a variety of the tracks from their most recent album, done reviews of a few of the tracks, so they'll be in the description of this video. And if you would like to see more content like this, then please do feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the next audio analysis.